Everyone is leaving money on the table if they're not building their business on Facebook Reels right now, truly. And as a leader, if you have a lot of new people coming in and they found you on Facebook Reels, from my personal experience, guess what? They are also going to recreate what you've done because it makes sense to them. They love watching Reels, and they understand that if they're attracted to you, they're going to attract other people in the cold market. And that is helping them jump out of the gate faster and helping them get more leads and generate more leads like we've never seen before for a brand new network marketer that's never even been introduced to the business outside of this, right? It's incredible. I didn't say my name, Nicole Domeray. Happy to be here and answer these questions about Facebook Reels. I'm going to just take a couple of minutes to answer these because I think they're really important. These are questions that I don't think I even asked myself, Kayla, so I'm happy to answer them. The first one is, should we create our own sounds to use under a business account? You can, I do, and I do see that other people use my sound. The next question is, any harm in using another network marketer's original sound? Would those leads go to the original creator? Well, no, and this could be overthinking just a little bit, because if someone is using your sound, it's because they see that it worked for you. They're looking for success with Reels as well. They could be in your company, they could be in another company, but they see if they're looking at the right thing. They're not looking at vanity metrics where you hit 1 million, because a lot of people could hit 1 million views and have 5 comments, truly. But if they see that you have a lot of engagement, they're definitely going to use your trending sound, and it's just easier and more convenient to use yours. Their intention is to use it for their own business. And people are not going to come over and take leads if you're taking someone else's sound, because you're doing the same thing anyone else is doing. If someone else is just using your sound because they like it, they don't even know what they don't know. They have no idea that you're really using it to build a business. They want to just get views. But if it's another network marketer, their intention is to get engagement because they took it from you. And same with you, right? So definitely feel free to do that. I do it. I do have a lot of people using a lot of mine because I repurposed. I repurposed from TikTok. Feel free. I do it all the time. I repurpose from Instagram Reels. I repurpose from TikTok, and that leverages my time. It scales my business. It makes it more effective and efficient because I can take 2 minutes to take TickSave, download my video from TikTok, and go put it up on IG Reels or put it up on Facebook Reels. Facebook Reels right now is so flaming hot that you should be putting something up at least once a day. If you really, really want to get a lot of leads and get in front of thousands of people, put things up 2 or 3 times a day. And what makes that easy? Repurposing. If you started on TikTok a year ago and you have a few videos that did like really well, take them, download them, put them up. Make sure the watermark is not there, because Facebook does have some rules about that. And there is a really cool bonus program for people that has that opportunity. I would say it's a 50-50 right now. Some people have it, some people don't. So look into it to see if you have the opportunity to create a business account. And if you leverage it properly and you follow the rules, there's an opportunity for bonuses. So it's really cool. Number 2, if we have a viral video, then what? Big question, Kayla. What is the best practice for funneling and the back and forth messaging? Extra time for VAs or distribute leads to trusted leaders? And what is the best way to do this practically? A spreadsheet? Oh, great question. And I'm going to keep this short, so I don't want to really jump into that. But the very best way right now that's working for me personally, and it's super successful, is to, yes, use other leaders. If you don't have a placement system, then use your upline, because your upline could use them and place that volume or have that volume with you. Or if you have someone on your team that can use their sign up, then you get the volume and they get the volume. It's kind of a score. It's a win-win, and it teaches your team to really get out of their head and get into action. That's the one thing that teaches your team to get out of their head, and that's getting into action and more conversation. So I absolutely agree with using your team. Even if you don't have a placement system, just let them use their account code or whatever you use to sign people up by using a chat group. So if you ask your team to go into a viral reel and you have keyboard shortcuts in place that they can use, or if you're using boards and sharing scripts, then they can use those. I absolutely advise that you use keyboard shortcuts. You have to, it's vital. Or you could get pulled over and put in Facebook jail for copying and pasting from boards. You just don't want to do that. Boards are really cool to have, but maybe it's to have the board to get the information to turn into keyboard shortcuts, okay? That's really, really important. So I would have your team putting you inside of a group once they ask permission, once they get the green light. So if they reach out and say, hey Carla, thanks so much for the love on my friend Stacy's video. So she's kind of my work wife and we love working together. Would you like for me to introduce you to her? Super simple. 9 times out of 10, they say yes. And then you set that up and you can continue to do that. So your question is the best practice for funneling and following up. Google Sheets, you can if you'd like, and if that's worked for you in the past, but for me, big secret, huge secret, and it works like gangbusters. Listen to this. Emojis. Emojis. You can nickname one-on-one conversations by just going up and hitting the profile and then choosing nickname, and in that nickname, put an emoji. So we know, or you know, is this a product prospect or is this a business prospect? So when you're going through your messages on Messenger, I get like 200 or 300 messages a day. And how do I stay on top of that? How do I know how to follow up? Because my teammates are putting emojis, and those emojis change depending on where they are in the conversation. So if we're just asking, then there's going to be 3 emojis. That's just an example. And let's just say it's an emoji of a smiley face, a top hat, and like an emoji wearing sunglasses. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to use, just so you know your system. Well, what that tells me when I'm doing this at a really high level and I'm just looking through my messages to see which ones are the most important, which ones are those? The ones that are getting ready to close on product or the ones that are getting ready to close on business? Well, I know that those emojis have changed based on the conversation and where that person is in the success system. I either remove emojis or I change emojis. And I know exactly where my team is in a conversation and where I need to jump in, where to work first during the day, and where to work last based on where they are in the conversation. So what do? The things that are most important to me is working on the conversations that are first, that I just got put into with a teammate because I want to secure them so my teammate can continue working them through the system. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to be able to see where I need to close people. That's the second thing. So when I can secure people from the beginning and secure people from the end, that's what I'm going to jump into first. And then I'm going to go through the rest of them. And I can really go through 200 or 300 messages a day between me and what my team has put me in based on emojis. It's incredible. And keyboard shortcuts, vital to your system. Okay, so number 3, efficiency and automation. With the high volume coming in, do you sacrifice the back and forth messaging by providing a longer text or a link that is more self-serving? Or self-serve rather. I think it depends on your success system. I use an ATM system, so it makes it easy for me to put them in the ATM system so I know that they're gonna be watching 2 or 3 videos. So when I come back and follow up, I'm really direct and efficient with this because I want answers. And the only way I'm gonna get answers is to have open-ended questions. So if someone has just watched 3 videos, or at least they're supposed to be because they agreed to it inside of my ATM system, I'm going to follow back up with them and say something like, hey, I hope you had the opportunity to watch the videos. My friend shared this with me 2 years ago and I trusted her, and thank God I did because this has been incredible. Are you still open to learning more? I always throw a little bit of marketing to the heart in every message. Now, here's the last thing that I want to tell you. I can see in my system where I'm at based on my keyboard shortcuts. So if I open something and see that keyboard shortcut, I know where they're at. I leave a lot of voice messages, but I never do it in the beginning. I always ask 2 questions. Those 2 questions are vital because I'm all about creating rapport, not building rapport. Building can take 6 months. We do not want to take their kids to soccer practice, make their 2-year-old birthday cake. We don't want to walk their dogs. That's crazy. And because it's not going to serve you when they realize that you became their friend, right? Because you wanted them to learn more about your business opportunity or the products. So we create rapport. This is something Stacey Hall coined. I loved it because there is a difference between creating and building. Building may take time. And you could get yourself into a heap of trouble by becoming someone's counselor that just wants someone to lean on and talk to, and there's no profit there, right? But if you're creating rapport, you can do it in 2 questions. You can choose the questions. My questions are, Hey, awesome. Thanks for jumping in this chat. I'm curious, what do you do for a living? They always answer that. The second question, but this is what I do next. The very next thing I do is I put a voice message there saying, oh my goodness, that is so incredible. You're a nurse. I've talked to so many nurses. Let me tell you about nurses. 2 things that you all have in common that I absolutely love and that's perfect for this business. You have a heart of gold to serve people in their health, and you also have a stellar work ethic. 2 things for a successful recipe. And then I come back out and ask the next question, and that is, curious, now I can't remember what I was going to say. I say this all the time. Curious, are you open to earning a little wiggle room in your budget, or are you open to eventually replacing what you're currently doing? Big roadmap for me. That lets me know where they want to go. They always answer that, and I learn a lot about them. I've just created enough rapport for them to trust me, and that's what I want, so I can serve them properly. Now I can do that on my own, or I can do that in a chat with one of my teammates. And at that point, my teammate takes over, because we know after that question has been answered, they take the whole conversation and move them through the success system. I hope this has helped you, Kayla, and for anybody else that's watching this. If you have any questions, put them here in the comments, and let's answer those, because again, Facebook Reels is where it's at, because you can get brand new people that has never ever seen network marketing a day in their life, just bought a phone yesterday, doesn't know how to use a computer, can have 10 kids, 20 dogs, doesn't matter, work a full-time job, and start gaining leads.